Dear Chartered Accountants, good afternoon, my friends and colleagues. I'm here to discuss and present a paper on a burning question right now, a question that might set precedent on the ways the decision to this question is reached among policymakers across the world, among decision makers across the world, and among leaders among the world. The question is whether bailout is a right solution in a free market economy or not. The contents of my presentation are first the introduction to the concept of a free market economy, what it actually means, and then what is really a bailout, forms and types of bailouts, examples of recent bailouts, and then analysis and our own conclusion. First, let me introduce you to the concept of a free market economy. A free market economy is an economy in which the markets are regulated only by the market participants, and the governments play a very neutral role in the administration and legislation of the economic activity by neither limiting or promoting the markets through entry and exit barriers or owning any economic interest in the development of the businesses or by subsidizing businesses or even subsidizing research and developments that might assist in the businesses. Further, all the capital goods, transfers of money and the flow of services are regulated only by the market participants, and the government plays or limits its role only to the extent to avoid and check frauds that might take place while this economic activity happens among the market players. These markets, in short, are without any entry or exit barriers and have common sets of rules for all. To put it short, a free market economy is really an evolutionary stage in the life cycle of an economy that might be reached when an economy matures or is too strong to need any government intervention. Now, history and current global scenario in the context of a free market economy. There is really no big or strong free market economy in the world in the true sense of the term, as we have discussed. Historically, moves towards creating a free market economy have been impeded or obstructed by acts of protecting and enhancing inherent geopolitical interests by member nations or by economies or rulers. Exceptions to this rule are certain free market economies like Hong Kong and some constituents of the Arab Emirates, but these economies, collectively or individually, are too small to have a lasting impact into creating one single free market economy. Now, on a micro level, in our own Indian context, in the free market economy concept, India is a mixed economy and not yet a free market economy because we have government participation through various ways and forms into businesses. Further, our nation has a federal structure that is composed of states and union territories, where each state and union territory has its own differing levies and taxes along with central taxes. The states and union territories justify having separate sets of taxes for promoting regional development, but due to this, interstate movements of goods and services is really cluttered, and we can't even claim that our own India is really a free market economy to operate from one place to another. Now, the second part, the question that we need to discuss. What is really a bailout? Well, a bailout is an act of giving capital or loaning funds to an entity that might be a company, a country, or even an individual who is in danger of failing to save the entity from bankruptcy, insolvency, total liquidation, or ruin. Bailout is also an act of allowing a failing entity to fail in a graceful manner without spreading contagion to other allies or other connected components of the economy. Now, types and motives of bailouts. The first and the most simple type of bailout is for mere profit. That is, when a predatory investor invests in buying shares of a failing company at throwaway prices. Examples of this, as I've seen time and again, are private sector industrial conglomerates buying up sick government-owned companies across the world. Then the second motive behind bailout is for wider socio-economic reasons why governments actually give out bailouts. Governments in India and around the world provide bailout packages to avoid unemployment, to safeguard jobs and livelihoods of its people, and to avoid fallouts of unemployment that might really lead to social unrest if not checked in time. Further, the indirect reasons for bailouts are to safeguard and enhance larger geopolitical interests. The best example of this is really the US government that protects the biggest US companies related to transportation, such as airliners and fuel companies, from failure through low-cost interest loans, subsidies, and lower taxes, as the US government thinks these companies are too big to fail.